Welcome to Only Murders in My Mind. Hello, it's Thursday. It's Only Murders in My Mind with Liz Hedgecock.
Hello.
And Mike Jackson.
I do like to leave a pause sometimes, for no other reason that I just like to be awkward. I could see Carol's face there thinking, what's wrong with him? Why isn't he speaking to me?
Yes, I thought I've upset him somehow.
Is he in a catatonic state?
He's going to ignore me.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Thank you very much, Mike.
It's because I used the word ladies, it threw them both.
It did.
Yeah.
Who's he talking to?
I'm a good feminist, you know.
Yes.
Dearie me.
This week we're going on strange.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you know, apparently, according to my son, who is very much into, rightly so, into diversity and everybody accepting everybody else, he actually told me off for using the word ladies recently.
Oh.
I talked about a ladies' football team, and he said it should be a women's football team.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Well, because I'm so old, that ladies is, I think it's quite nice.
I thought it was quite well, but apparently...
No, women's is the accepted.
It's the accepted.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think there's partly a thing of, you know, who's a lady and who's not a lady.
Right.
But, well, you know, I think it's sort of ladies and gentlemen type thing. And
Yes.
men and women.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I know it does slightly annoy me when in crime things, it doesn't happen very often these days, but they say WPC. They're a female police officer if you want to actually categorise it that much, but just a police officer. You know, and a book I'm listening to at the moment keep talking about WPCs, but I think it probably was written quite a long time ago, you know.
Yeah.
So, as I say, we don't tend to do that anymore.
A difficult world we live in. What difficult world? A changing world.
A changing world, definitely.
We have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
But in my ghosty books, I have Nora who occasionally says, "Oh, you're a WPC,"
Yes,
and
but
Steph
that's
will tell her off
allowed.
for it.
Yeah, but she was a WPC, wasn't she? The ghost.
Well, she was actually a matron.
She was, wasn't she?
She was fibbing a bit.
Bless her.
Indeed.
Yes, but she wanted to be.
She
wanted to be
gets
at
her
the front.
promotion, so that's all right.
Good. We're just going to advertise an event that's going to happen this Sunday, if you live in the Warrington area, that myself and Liz and some other notable people are involved in.
Oh, very notable people,
Yeah,
yes.
So it's called Murder in the Library.
Or Bodies in the Library.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
We're doing well here, aren't we? We're advertising it fantastically. So it's the Sunday, the 29th of June, and it is 11:15 till 1 o'clock, our bit of it. And following us, you have Martin Edwards and Sarah Ward in conversation. So those two well-known authors are going to be talking about the latest crime novels, and you'll be able to ask questions, get a book, all those sorts of things. But back to us and Bodies in the Library.
Oh, yeah.
So there are going to be three talks. The first one is going to be Carol. Yay! How I Kill People on Paper. There we go. So you can find out where she gets her gory ideas from and have an insight into Carol's mind, which will not be remotely disturbing. So, yeah, she has actually put in the description of her talk, it's not pretty. So be warned. And, I mean, how do you follow that? But I'm going to attempt it with plotting the perfect crime and solving it. So I'll be talking about the pleasures and pitfalls of plotting a mystery or crime book. So I think I've got half an hour. So don't expect a one-size-fits-all solution, but we will look at some of the issues. And then we have Claire Littlemore, who's going to talk about penning the perfect psycho.
Da, da, da.
So she's going to look at the criminal or the villain. For both of those events, you have to book. So contact Warrington Central Library. There is an email address, which is libteam@livewirewarrington.org. But if you ring the library, I'm sure they can put you on the list. The booking is all absolutely free. The booking is just so that they know numbers for health and safety capacity, fire regulation stuff. And we will have books, and you will be able to chat to us, and you can tell us how much you like our podcast.
Yes.
Or not. Or give us ideas for episodes.
Yes. Yeah.
So there we go.
3 short, snappy talks that aren't going to bore you. They're not going to go on for ages, and they should be quite funny in parts.
So if you've ever thought about writing a crime novel or a mystery novel, or if you just wonder how authors do it, come along and find out.
We'll see you there. We're going to talk about Strange But True, and Mike's doing quite a lot of shorts on this at the moment, Mike, aren't you?
So Mike is super prepared.
Yeah, we've got a couple of series of shorts on our YouTube channel at the moment. One is Strange But True Crimes, which is what we're talking about today, and the other one is Unexplained Mysteries. So do go they're only short, and that's why they're called shorts.
The clues in the name.
Apparently now on YouTube, shorts used to be 60 seconds. You couldn't go beyond, but now you can go up to 3 minutes.
Yes.
But all the ones that I've done on the YouTube channel are all about a minute.
Yeah, right.
About a minute long.
Yeah. They're extremely good. Go and look at them.
You are the master of brevity, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Some very interesting things have come up that I'm like, oh, really? Did that really happen? So because Mike is the expert, I'm going to let him kick this episode off with one of his strange but true stories.
Right. Well, this one is from my home county of Kent.
Ooh.
Happened in Sevenoaks back in 1965. And it's one of the most bizarre thefts in British rural history.
Which part of Kent are you from, Mike?
Gillingham, which is part of the Medway towns.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Down by the River Medway.
I'm from North Kent originally.
Oh, right. Southerners together.
Yes.
Taking over the world.
Rawr.
Yeah.
With our hops and our apples.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch out. Carol's like, what?
I'm from Australia, so I don't count.
I would not have put you down as Australian, I have to say.
No, I was 3.5 when I came back to this country, so I lost my accent pretty quickly.
Oh,
A northerner ever since.
Yeah. Well, I've lived up north for how long now? 50 plus years. 55 years. But I think I might still have a slight southern accent.
Just a slight one.
just a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, back in Sevenoaks in 1965, some thieves broke into a private wildlife park and made off with 2 adult emus. Despite their size, the birds vanished overnight. Police reckon the thieves may have used a horse box, but the sheer logistics of nabbing 2 7-foot-tall flightless birds stunned investigators. The birds were later found wandering in a nearby orchard, but no one was ever charged. Though one theory was that it might have been a failed exotic meat adventure.
Oh, those emus had a lucky escape.
It is emu meat. Is it a high price for emu meat?
I would have thought so. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if there are connoisseurs out there who probably would, pay a high price for a strange meat they haven't tried. I wonder where Rod Hull was at the time.
Yes.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm assuming these emus would have put up a fight purely based on
they're quite
the
naughty.
puppet emus.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I mean, that's where I get my emu knowledge from.
They're
frankly.
not going to take it lying down. They're going to kick and spit and bite.
I'm trying to think if I've ever eaten emu meat. I don't know.
I'm now wondering where you were when this all was going on, being as you're a Kentish man.
1965, I was a teenager.
Exactly the age where you might think kidnapping an emu is a good idea.
I had a kangaroo steak once.
I've had
kangaroo.
Yeah.
I've had crocodile.
Yeah, me too. I liked it.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went, it tastes like chicken.
It does taste like chicken.
Which is really a bit disappointing, but it was nice.
I was in Brussels a couple of years ago and we went for a meal in that globe thing.
Oh, the atomium.
Thank you. And I'd pre-ordered as they asked you to, and it was some sort of a beef. Very nice, but it tasted unusual. And I'm saying to my daughter, "Do you think this is horse meat?" Just like that. And she said, "I don't know." And it put me off a little bit. And when the waitress came, I went, "What cut is this?" And she said, "It's cheek. It's the cheek of the cow."
Oh, beef cheek.
Beef cheek.
Oh, beef cheek's nice.
Oh, I don't remember ever having it before.
No, I don't think.
And it has got a different taste.
Yeah, no, we've got some in the freezer. It's very nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I've had tongue before, but not cheek.
I've had tongue.
I think it was anything from sort of the inner bits of the animal. I mean, this is ridiculous because, I eat meat and I've got no problem with that. But the idea of eating the inner bits.
It's awful, isn't it? A lot of people don't like the offal.
It's the offal, yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be one of my favourite restaurants, which is no longer there, unfortunately, was a South African restaurant in Ellesmere Port.
All right.
Had some friends from South Africa who introduced it
Did
to us.
they serve emu?
I'm just trying to think because they served most meats. You could have Bambi.
Michael Jackson.
I think it was a gazelle or something.
Getting your Sunday name for that. Oh, dear.
But some of the food was absolutely. That's where I first had crocodile. Absolute wonderful.
Yeah. It's not every day you have a crocodile burger,
No.
is it?
I had when I was in Australia. My sister-in-law at the time, we'd gone off somewhere, and she said, when we get to this place, you must have what is a delicacy, and it's my favourite, kangaroo brain.
Oh.
She said, you'll really like it. Now, I'm usually quite fussy with my food, but when I'm abroad or away, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
And I tried this, and I know you're trying to think, what did it look like? What did it taste like? Well, all the things that you're thinking are right. It looked awful and it tasted absolutely disgusting. Oh. My sister-in-law was very glad because she managed to finish mine off as well as hers.
Oh, yuck.
Not saying I recommend.
It's a good job that we're just sound only, because if you could see our faces when we were listening to that, my gosh.
Yeah.
I like haggis, and somebody put on Wikipedia that it was a little Scottish animal.
That's right.
That was me, I think. Yeah, and the legs are on one side are longer because it goes like round and round the hills.
It's really, really funny that, yeah. So my strange but true is the Mad Bomber of New York.
Oh.
And this happened between 1940 and 1950s. George Metsky. It's Mettersky, I think. Anyway, this gentleman, he terrorised New York by planting bombs in public places. His motive apparently was against Con Edison, a utility company that he believed had wronged him. And 30 bombs went off over a period of time. Lots of people were injured, but luckily nobody was ever killed. And the police were baffled. And New York lived in terror, expecting the next one to go. Can you imagine, can't you? Anywhere, no warning. They just went off.
And also with all the skyscrapers, I mean, you'd be worrying about building collapsing.
Scary, yeah. Now this is the reason I wrote about this one. He was caught in 1957 due to psychological profiling.
Oh,
one of the first people to ever be caught, put to trial, and found guilty with psychological profiling being part of the evidence. And he spent the rest of his life in a mental institute because he was deemed to be as mad as a hatter. But
so who did the profiling?
It would have probably been, I think, at the beginning of the FBI profiling agency.
Right.
Because I think it started around then. And then it grew. And the people that were developing it, because a lot of people thought it was a load of rubbish. The two of the people that were the main characters that brought profiling into the sort of where it is now would go round interviewing serial killers to get information and, to sort of see if their thoughts on how this person was actually matched the person. So they went round and round different parts of America, interviewing people and putting it all down on paper, and then they'd go back and they analysed it with their colleagues. And they were at the FBI centre, which is, I'm trying to remember now where the FBI centre is. I said it before.
Can't help you.
It'll come back to me.
Come back.
So that's the reason I use that as strange but true. But it was the fact that the police were they just couldn't pin this person down at all.
Yeah. Well, it just shows how innovations can really move things on.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah. So that was my little.
Indeed. Well, I've got one, and it's from Australia.
Oh yay!
Like you. Okay, it's the Somerton Man or the Somerton Beach case. And I think this is reasonably well known, but an unidentified man whose body was found on the 1st of December 1948 on the beach at Somerton Park, a suburb of Adelaide. And one of the weird things was they found a scrap of paper months afterwards in the fob pocket of the man's trousers. The fob pocket.
Yes.
I know, this is really going back some. And what was printed on the paper was "It is over" or "It is finished" in Persian.
Persian?
Right.
Yes. Tamam Shud. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Apologies to any Persians who are listening. It's been torn from the final page of a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam.
Ah.
And I think that was the only identifying thing. Following a public appeal by police, they found the book. On the inside back cover, detectives read through indentations left from previous handwriting. So, you know, when someone writes on a notepad and they tear the sheet off, but because it's gone through.
You do that with a pencil.
Yeah, like in Paddington. When they catch Phoenix Carrington. But yes, they found a local telephone number, another unidentified number, and text that resembled a coded message. But they've never managed to break the code on that.
Oh.
They've never.
Another mystery on
I
codes.
know. Since the early stages of the police investigation, it's been considered one of Australia's most profound mysteries. And there's been speculation ever since regarding the identity of the victim, the cause of his death, and what led up to it. And the public were interested and have remained interested for several reasons. One being, it was a time of heightened international tension following the beginning of the Cold War. There was a secret code involved. There might have been an undetectable poison. That would have been breaking Knox's rules, wouldn't it? Yes, and the inability, it says in Wikipedia, or unwillingness of authorities to identify the dead man.
Da, da, da.
Now, there's an interesting phrase.
Ooh.
Yes. But in 2022, a professor, in association with a genealogist, concluded the man was Carl Charles Webb. And his identification was based on genetic genealogy from DNA of the man's hair. But that result has never been verified by the police.
Oh.
Conspiracy theories.
So there you go. The guy was an electrical engineer and instrument maker born in 1905.
I think the Australian secret police got to him because he was he knew something that they didn't want the Russians to get.
But yes, he was buried. It wasn't a pauper's burial. Apparently, the South Australian Grandstand Bookmakers Association paid for the service.
Oh.
So there you go. And years after the burial, flowers began appearing on the grave. Police questioned a woman seen leaving the ceremony, but she claimed she knew nothing about the man.
Oh.
About the same time, the receptionist from a hotel opposite the railway station said a strange man had stayed in room 21 or 23 for a few days around the time of the death. He was English speaking and he had a small black case, and that was his only luggage. When an employee looked inside, he said he'd found an object in it. It looked like a needle. There you go. And it was reported much later that an inmate of a New Zealand prison claimed to know the identity of the dead man.
Strange.
Strange
Very
but true.
strange. Yes.
Strange but true.
So there you go.
That is interesting.
But yes, any further attempts to identify the body have been hampered because he was embalmed, so the formaldehyde has destroyed most of the DNA.
I wonder if they didn't cremate him. That's always a way of getting.
But yeah, lots of people thinking might have been a spy.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Well, there were two sites relatively close by: the Radium Hill uranium mine.
Oh yes.
And the Woomera test range, which is a military research facility.
Yeah.
Heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
Yes. So there you go.
Thank you, Liz. That was
no worries.
The FBI centre is Langley. I should know that, but that's where lots of people are trained, and they train FBI agents, etc. I often wonder, talking about Australia and strange but true, about the dingo baby.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Because that was like, she's done it, she hasn't done it, she's done it, she hasn't done it. And I've watched documentaries, I've read books on it and everything, and nobody's ever really sure what happened. But a baby disappeared out of a tent and they couldn't find it. And as I say, it's one of those mysteries that we'll be talking about it at some point, I should imagine.
Probably will.
Yeah, because it is something that fascinates people and will carry on fascinating people. You've got some more, haven't you, Mike?
Yeah, 2 quick ones. I think we were getting very serious there, so I thought just take us down a notch.
Sorry.
a notch or 3. The first one's the Hat Museum heist, 2002.
The Hat Museum
Hat
heist.
Museum heist.
Okay. Where's the Hat Museum?
In London.
Okay.
I must go to it. I like hats.
Yeah, well, you might. Well, hang on, wait and see.
What sort of hats are these?
A quiet, elderly man living in Ealing, in London, amassed over 1,000 hats, all stolen. Over several years, he used to go to theatres, restaurants, hotels, high streets, and just
pick up a hat.
And he had so many that he turned his flat into a self-declared hat museum, complete with mannequins and labels like Top Hat, Savoy Hotel, 1997.
That's some front, isn't it? Can you imagine if you went and then you're like, hang on a minute,
that's my hat.
I mean, presumably you took the name.
Well, I don't
things off.
I don't know. It doesn't say, but I don't think anybody
Good
would have found
heavens.
out, because the police only came round because there'd been a complaint about noise, and then they found his collection.
Too many people in the Hat Museum.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah, but they found his collection arranged like a gallery, and he said his claim when he was asked why. He saw these hats as abandoned souls that needed rescuing.
Yes, I think the owners didn't believe that.
I don't know. I mean, if he pinched 1,000 hats, he must have been doing it for quite a few years, I would have thought.
Yes, and at every opportunity by the sound. Well,
I don't know what happened to him.
My mum always said, if you want to get ahead, get a hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose the thing is, say you went out once a week and you managed to nobble a hat, specifically. I mean, that's 50 hats a year. So it would take you 20 years if you just did it once a week. So if you were more prolific.
Where did he put them all? I wonder how big his flat was.
You'd probably take one at a time, because if you went to somewhere like the Savoy Hotel, saw a top hat, stick it on your head and walk out.
I imagine what you'd do is you'd wear like a cap or something,
Yes.
or something unobtrusive, whack it in your pocket, and then go to the club. Oh, hat, please.
Yep.
Now you've given me ideas. As I say, I like that.
Well, that's good. I mean,
So another one. This is Bishop Auckland.
Okay.
2011. A would-be burglar, a would-be thief,
I think the glossolalia is coming on again.
broke into a local shop and decided to obviously run away with his loot. Unfortunately, he had a transport issue, and his getaway vehicle was a ride-on lawnmower.
Dear goodness.
And he was caught trundling along at 5 miles an hour.
I was going to say, isn't there a maximum speed on those things?
So the police simply walked up to him and made the arrest.
Oh, they probably didn't even have to break a sweat.
And when he was asked why, he said, "My mate said it was quiet and wouldn't wake anybody up." So unsurprisingly, he was charged with burglary and theft. And,
it's a shame you can't charge people with stupidity, really, isn't it? My
dear
gosh.
me.
he was mocked in the local paper's headlines as the grass-cutting criminal.
Mocked he should have been as well.
Oh, I hope they gave him community service and made him do like the hedgerows or something.
Yes,
Do the
yes,
verges.
I remember my brother who plays golf a lot. He's retired, so he's got the right to play golf a lot.
If he wants
And
to,
he came once and he said, "I'm in trouble at the golf club." And I said, "Why?" He said, "I crashed one of the golf buggies into one of the bunkers." I think he just put his foot down on the accelerator instead of the brake.
Oh.
Yeah, because they don't go very fast either.
No, going back to the speed thing, I remember my friend Paula, who writes historical fiction, agonising over what the speed limit is in any given year, or whether it's gone whether it's like gone down from 10 miles an hour to
they
5
still have the
miles an
flag
hour,
walking?
depending on like any accidents that might have happened in that particular London borough at that time. So
because I mean, there was the thing with the first steam trains, wasn't there? They could only go so fast, and all the rest of it.
Well, they were terribly worried, weren't they, in case like women's internal organs were displaced, because at that speed, I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Oh dear goodness! Yeah,
I know. Well, I mean, there was all the furore about bicycles as well.
yes, yeah.
You know, women couldn't possibly sit astride something like that. You know, that would do terrible damage.
I know.
And yet the strange thing was, when you think about when the first motor cars came out, there had to be somebody walking in front with a red flag because of the speed. And yet being mown down in the middle of London by a horse and carriage was probably much more.
Yes,
It's
much
what
more
you know,
dangerous.
isn't
yeah.
it? You know.
I can remember as a child we had a milkman who still had a horse and cart. And where I lived in West Bank, there was quite a steep hill down to the prom at the bottom, and we lived at the bottom. And it was a boiling hot day, and this poor horse dropped dead.
Oh, no.
It was like, Grocer Jack, you know that song? We were all crying because the horse had died.
Oh.
And they were trying to get the children away, you know, and we were up patting it, going, "Come on, get up, you'll be all right," sort of thing.
Oh.
It was traumatising.
It
I don't
would
think I've been the same since.
Wow.
and then they got a milk float.
Yeah.
Indeed. Another not very good getaway vehicle.
No.
Well, that was an unexpectedly rich scene from the lawnmower, wasn't it?
Childhood memories, yeah.
Indeed. Sorry for bringing back, a haunting childhood moment.
What about the goat arrest
Go on,
from
then.
Nigeria, 2009?
Go on.
Police in Kwara State, Nigeria, detained a goat on suspicion of armed robbery.
It was a scapegoat.
Yes.
Ah! Sorry, everyone.
I left the pause. Yeah.
They've got hooves, not paws. Don't be silly.
Oh,
Go on, man.
I can't. Anyway, locals claimed that a thief attempted to steal a car and when cornered, transformed into a goat to escape. And as a result, the people said it must have been black magic.
When was this again?
Nigeria, 2009.
Wow.
And the goat was brought to the station and held in custody. And officials kept a straight face while noting it in the charge book. And despite international headlines and disbelief, no further action was taken. Well, not against the goat, anyway.
I wonder if it had a phone call.
Yeah.
The rights of an animal.
Right, so an animal.
Definitely.
But again, it's that belief, isn't it? That there would have been, something like in certain countries, the whole idea of black magic and whatever.
Voodoo is very strong in some
countries. Yeah.
and very often it goes alongside Christianity. We think it's if they do voodoo, they must be heathens and all that. But the two things very often overlap.
Well, it's we were talking about the whole Harry Potter thing, and the some of the controversy in America. So, and it's I think it was Muslims and also Christians. Some branches of Christianity very much not keen on Harry Potter at all.
Yeah.
No.
So
because it mentions witchcraft and
yeah,
lots of strange things. And of course, J.K. Rowling's animals and plants were all from years ago, or things that had been put in books.
But I don't think people care about that.
No,
if they
don't
want to be offended.
No. Apart from the odd dragon, I think.
Oh, dragons are cool.
I like dragons. Yes,
You'll enjoy the draft then when I get it.
And the old lady with the dragon tattoo. When I had the
You're
dragon,
not old.
When I had the dragon tattoo done on my back, it's on my shoulder actually. Back is an exaggeration.
See, I'm imagining this huge back piece now
it's just a little one.
Oh, okay.
It's a Welsh dragon because my ancestors were Welsh, and I also was born in the year of the dragon in the Chinese calendar, and I like dragons. And Ben was very much, because the girl with the dragon tattoo was out at the time, and he went,
That's a scary book.
"Oh yeah." He said, "You're the old lady with the dragon tattoo," and I went, "Yeah, okay, I'll take that."
Yeah, if you want a compliment, don't go to your kids.
So if I start a YouTube channel, that's what it's going to be: the old lady with the dragon tattoo.
Wow, are you planning to start a YouTube channel?
I thought I might do one on fashion.
Why not?
I need a good editor though. It's one of those things. I love watching YouTube. What do they call it? Where they produce content. They're called content producers.
Right. Yeah.
And I really, especially women around my age, I really do like watching it. But the thought of doing a YouTube channel and getting lots of like nasty comments.
I think
you can turn them off.
You can
I
turn
think
the comments off.
That would crush me. That would, I would really, that would upset me, sort of thing. Everybody's got a right to their opinion, but some people are really, really nasty.
Oh, some people are just horrible and they enjoy making people feel bad. I don't know why, but
But it's not just YouTube, is it? I mean, when you think of book reviews, sometimes you can get a terrible book review, which is just not in line with anybody else. And it's just because some people just like to.
Oh, well, I've had that. I've had exactly the same wording on different book reviews because I think somebody just didn't. I mean, exactly the same wording.
Yeah. You know what? They're probably paid to do book reviews by somebody, and therefore they are just cutting and pasting because
So I just don't read them now. So
I think the thing, going back to YouTube, apparently I read somewhere that youngsters nowadays are more likely to watch YouTube than they are to watch TV. With all that's on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to. We were watching Vertigo.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, because it's one of my kids' set texts for their film course.
That's
Alfred Hitchcock. Yes. Well, I'd never seen it before, so it was fascinating. But we sort of said, well, do you think you'll watch it again? Because we'll rent it. But I mean, if we think we'll watch it again, we could buy it because it's not that much more. And he said, well, the thing is, like, if I watch it again, I probably won't watch it on this TV, and therefore just rent it, because if I watch it, I'll probably watch it on my computer, and I won't be able to get that on there. So the idea of going downstairs and watching something on a TV in the same house apparently is too much for my kid. Yeah. So there you go.
But on the flip side, I mean, I know. YouTube can really disturb people and it can make them quite depressed and sort of thing. You can learn a lot from YouTube.
Oh, tremendous amount.
John learned how to solder this week from YouTube. Yeah. I learned how to do a lot of crafts, and when I'm sewing, how do you do that seam? So I'll go to YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's got a really good side to it as well, hasn't it?
It's like much of what is on computers, whether it's internet, whether it's social media, YouTube.
Yeah. Well, it's
There's
also
a good
things
side
like
to
TV and radio. I mean, if you cabbage yourself listening to who knows what.
So
it's quite fascinating because, as you know, I've been doing these shorts for
excellent
the YouTube channel. And at one point I was putting music into them. There's the voiceover and the captions. And then I read recently where a lot of people, especially youngsters, because they're leading busy lives and they're watching YouTube while they're on the tube or
walking down the
street, they mute them. So they're not listening to you. They're not listening to the music. That's why it's so important to have the captions there.
Which is quite true. Yeah. Because as I said to you, I've been watching a lot of your shorts and really enjoying them, but watching them, not listening to them, because I'm usually in my sitting room while my husband's watching television, and I've just got the, like you say, the text coming up.
I've stopped putting music on them. Because,
right. Yeah.
Well, what I tend to do is when I'm watching something on YouTube, I mean, unless it's something long where I think, yes, I do actually want the sound. Quite often I'll watch something in the middle of doing something else, and I'll probably have the radio on, and it's like, well, no, I don't have the sound on my phone normally.
No.
So
no. It's a completely different way of looking at life with the youngsters and media and things like that, isn't it? So,
but you talking about maybe doing your own YouTube channel. I don't know what the age range is for YouTube. I mean, imagine, I know a lot of youngsters use YouTube.
I think the largest group is actually adults.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, one of the ladies I watch, Helen Murray Joe, if you're listening, Helen, I like your YouTube channel. She's in her late 60s. And I really like her because she's so down to earth. I mean, she won't promote a product if she thinks it's rubbish. She'll say, I think it's rubbish.
And more people nowadays are doing what they call faceless YouTube channels.
They do.
Because they don't want to have...
I mean, people sewing very often, you just see their hands going through the sewing machine, things like that. Or people do... I like to watch some YouTube shorts on painting.
Yes.
I don't know whether you ever...
I've seen some, yes. I was watching a really good series about watercolour pencil the other day.
Well, exactly. And very often you don't see the person's face.
No.
You see their hands, what they're doing. Sometimes there's a commentary, sometimes there isn't, it's just music or whatever. But I find them very helpful when I want some inspiration. Yeah, so there is a lot of good out there, as I say. So
Right, so where were we?
Where were we?
where were we?
Strange but true, I think.
Strange but true.
Our YouTube history.
Yes, yeah. I think we've done what we're going to do.
I think we have.
I
yes.
think so. Now we've diverted.
We've diverted, gone back
Yes.
again, gone off again.
Yeah, we covered a lot of different stuff though.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We have diversified an awful lot, so it can all be good. So we will close there. So I will just say, click on our channel, subscribe, like.
We're also Apple Podcast. You can find us. Spotify. You can find us.
We have spread our wings. You can't escape now.
No.
And I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll be with you this time next week. So bye from Liz.
Bye.
Bye from Mike.
Goodbye.
And bye from me. You have been listening to Only Murders in My Mind, a Random Thought production, produced by John Bissett. The music in Peril was composed and recorded by OM Studio Strings.